I'm out in Maymont, Saskatchewan, and I'm gonna... Okay, so I may as well tell you how I ended up getting here. As usual, I'm searching Facebook Marketplace for whatever I find that seems to be cool. And I run across, something that catches my eye and it gets me to thinking, I've never owned one of those. In this case, it was a Ford Highboy. So I started doing, a couple of YouTube videos, checking stuff out, learn what I can about them. And I think, I think I might want one of these. Up until now, I didn't really know what a Ford Highboy was. I knew they were tall Ford, what appeared to be lifted trucks. But I didn't know if they were, factory, if it was an aftermarket thing. So I started looking into it, and it turns out it's from 1967 to 1977 and a half. Ford made a 4x4 version of a 3/4 ton, so an F250 4x4. And all of these were, considered highboys. That's the nickname they were given, although Ford never called them that. And what made it a highboy was a few things. So the frame narrowed at the back, so they never got a fuel tank at the back like the later trucks. They got a fuel tank in the cab, and it stayed there right till 77 and a half. They also got front brakes that were drums right up till 77 and a half. They also got a divorced transfer case, which was kind of strange because, we had divorced transfer cases back in the 50s, but, the rest of the world had kind of caught up to that and was already switching over to married transfer cases, meaning it was butted right up against the transmission. Because without it, with a divorced transfer case, you're running 3 drive shafts, one from the transmission to the transfer case, and then from the transfer case to the rear axle and the front axle. You got miles of pipe going on under there. Another strange thing is they had a low pinion front axle. I don't understand that, why you'd want a 4x4 with your front drive shaft as your lowest point, but that's what they had. They also had closed knuckle front drive or front axles. So that means that where the knuckle is, where your U-joints are hidden, if you will, that's all closed in, so you can't really see what's going on there. Might be good for like protecting that U-joint, but I don't think it's a good system overall, and it's kind of difficult to find parts for. So at first I was real excited about getting a Highboy, and then it's kind of like backed off a bit. Until I started digging into this thing, and I realized, this is, for me, the best of both worlds. So it looks like an old, mid-70s Highboy, but in fact it's a late 77 and a half Ford F250 4x4. So what that means to me, and I know I'm going to catch a lot of flack on this, it's got all the good stuff. So it's got the married transfer case. It's got the high pinion front axle. It's got disc brakes up front. It's got a fuel tank in the rear between the frame rails. It's got a high pinion front diff. It's got open knuckles. It's, to me, it's the best. So yeah, I don't know in the video if I've got those pictures up right now or not, but this thing clearly had been sitting for quite some time, and as it turns out, had been parked since 2000. So off the road for 25 years, and I'll be honest with you, underneath it looks like it. I'm going to get into the video here. I'll do a quick little, I'll show you a bit at the car wash, and then when I unload it, I'll give you a closer inspection of the walk around. Then I'm going to go and hit the auto wreckers and try and grab some parts for Will It Run. We'll see how that goes. All right, so with that being said, let's get back to the video. Okay, so let me show you what I got. So originally I thought I was getting a, let's see here, no rad carb stolen. Then this says 4x4, motor turns V8 400. And then that says 4x4 Highboy down the bottom there. And then this says 4x4 Highboy, 400 motor. Okay. All right, cool. So that would mean I got a 400 under here, which I do. It's missing some stuff, missing a radiator, it's missing a carburetor, it's missing a starter. Okay, that's fair. That stuff happens. It's got some 285, 75, 16 tires, I believe, on here. Oh, you can hear that tire leaking already. And I knew in the pictures that, let's see, the floors were Bluetooth. Okay, that's no problem. I get it. I'm fine with that. I don't know what that brake thing's all about. The floor on the other side is just as bad. Gonna have some rust repair here. Cab corners. Pretty typical Ford stuff. This door, not great. Probably just replace the door. Let's do a quick little walk around, shall we? We got, can you hear it? I don't know where it's leaking from. I'll fill that up when we get back to Edmonton, I guess. Back here, rust is pretty bad. That's okay. The inside of this box pretty good. See, we've got some rust through on the top over there. Right up top there. The rest of it looks pretty good. This box side's pretty good. We got some rust over top here. Not terrible though, I can live with that. Cab corner, typical. This door, much better. Gonna have to fix that up. That's gotta be repaired. This floor, same thing though. Rotted through. Pretty typical in Saskatchewan, Alberta, Western Canada for that. I was concerned about this cab mounts. They seem to be okay at first glance anyway. I got to dig into it more. But underneath, let me crawl under here for you. She is dirty, she's rusty, she's cruddy, grass hanging out from here. I'm assuming this thing is parked in the tall grass. Doesn't seem to have created any real rust problem, any problems rust wise, but everything is coated in some rust. But I don't see like the frame being rusted through or anything anywhere. So that's pretty good. All right, let's get back to my Highboy. So what is a Highboy? Well, Ford made Highboys from 1967 to 1977 and a half. This here is a 1977. So they all got, you know, the big tires, and they all sat up a little higher, kind of like this guy sits up nice and high. They only came as F250 four-wheel drives. All right, cool. This is an F250 four-wheel drive. And it says Highboy right there. A couple things about a Highboy though. So a Highboy always has a fuel tank here. Always, always, always. You know, unless somebody swapped the cab. Because a Highboy, the rear frame narrows. And because the rear frame narrows, you can't get a fuel tank back here. Now, some guys do put the Scout tanks and the Bronco tanks in there. Okay. Is that what we're looking at? Maybe. Another thing about a Highboy, though, is it has a divorced transfer case, which means it's standalone. And it typically sits a little further back. This one, if you look, is actually connected to the transmission. Another thing with Highboys, yeah, we got some red devils. Another thing with Highboys is the front diff is a low pinion diff. Like, see where that drive shaft goes in? See how high it is? That's a high pinion diff. Another thing is they had Dana 44, they had Dana 60s too, but they were closed. This is open. Now, having said all this, I don't mind it. I actually prefer what some people call a low boy over a high boy. I think that transfer case is better design. I think open-end diffs are better than closed. I think this thing sits up just high enough as it is. I think we got a good buy here. So, that being said, I'm going to go ahead and give this thing a little bit of a bath and see if we can't get her back home a little bit cleaner, so when we work on it, we're not fighting the mud so much, right? There we go. Okay, I know I don't typically start with the motor, but we're going to start with the motor today. So it's advertised as a 400. Look under here, and it looks like it's a 351 to me. More importantly, you know, the previous owner said it spins, and it does, but she's making not nice noises. I'm pretty sure the bottom end is gone on this thing. We'll dig into it and we'll find out. But I also noticed that we don't have a starter. We don't have a steel me junction, no solenoid. Gonna need to get some cables and whatnot. Well, we can grab all this stuff. I'll take a run to I Pull You Pull in the morning, and you know, like, got no carburetor. We need a rad. I think I got a rad at home that'll work. I don't know. Oil's blacker than the bottom of a well at midnight, but that's okay. At least there's oil. I like that. Imagine that'll be dry. No, that's full too. Looks like he's using ATF in there. Let me see here. Can I grab me those pliers out of the toolbox? Tool bag? So you had a couple wires off here. I'm starting to wonder if they were trying to figure out which cylinders were bad, maybe. Brake fluid up here, brake fluid down there. I got brake fluid in here. Guess I got some. Okay. Alright, we'll take a little bit of good news, I guess. You come underneath here, you can see with me, this floor has had it. This is a floor. This is the cab mount, so surprisingly, I don't know how, but I guess it's not really that intact, is it? Oh yeah, that's still intact. I don't know how that happens, but we're looking at it, so it's happening. Floor definitely is shot. I don't know what that is. So on a Highboy, you have a divorce transfer case. It would be hanging up over here somewhere. This is a married transfer case. So that means the transfer case is attached right to the transmission itself. Which you can see right there. This is our transfer case. That's our transmission. Also another sign that it's not a Highboy, is we have a high pinion front differential. And on a Highboy, it's low pinion. I don't know. To me, it's not as good. The low pinion. Wouldn't you want your front diff as high as possible on a four-wheel drive? What do I know? Also on a Highboy, you have closed axles. So it's Dana 44, but instead of open here like this is, where you can see the U-joints, it's all a closed knuckle. Maybe I'll put a picture in here. You can see what that's all about. Another thing that says it's not a Highboy is that guy right there. So these are disc brakes On a Highboy, they actually had drum brakes in the front. So that was right up till 77. Kind of a lot of backward stuff, to be honest. Like, who was doing a divorce transfer case in 77? Just Ford, I guess. Looks like I'm going to need an output shaft seal there. This exhaust is really kind of put on kind of funky there. Although that's the least of my worries. Yeah. So I had taken it to the car wash and kind of sprayed her down a bit. Get a better look at it. She's pretty muddy and just a lot of mud and grass and muck, and I don't know, like I think before it was put away they went for one last mud trip. Kind of like, look at all of this here. Kind of strange, isn't it? But you know, that's farmers. Farmers use something, it breaks down, and then they walk away from it. They don't really store stuff too good. I guess they got a lot going on, so I'm not going to beat up on them too bad. At least we still got it. Farmers are good for throwing nothing away. If it weren't for farmers, we wouldn't have a lot of our old trucks. Anyway, what's this here? Oh yeah, some haywire. There we go. Get that out of there. Those are some big brakes, eh? Those big old Willwood brakes. What's going on with that? I don't know. It's just the way Ford did it, I guess. What a strange wiring here. What's all this to? Okay, whatever. So you can see our floor is, you know, missing. That's okay. That's the least of my worries. That floor is pretty easy to install. Let me show you inside of this door. This is not so good. Okay, so that there, they make this patch panel. I'm not too worried. Same as they make a slip-on rocker, weld on there. That's fine. This piece here kind of troubles me a bit. Probably mostly because I'm not familiar with it. And when I try and open this door, watch that pillar. The whole pillar's moving. Not a fan of that. Maybe that'll strengthen up once I get that floor repaired. The old boy couldn't find the keys. It was supposed to come with keys, but we didn't get any keys. Obviously, not going to be under the mat. Take a look behind the seat. Oh, it looks pretty clean back here. I don't know. I was watching one fella's video, and he showed when that caulking all came out, it was all rusted out. So maybe I shouldn't cry hallelujah yet. Headliner looks okay, a little wobbly there. My guess is we'll find some mouse nest in here. So we'll drop that down, clean it out. Dash pad is trash. Radio is trash. Is this thing all cut up? Hey, it's not cut up. That's pretty good. I'm pretty happy about that. Take whatever wins I can get. Got a smoker. That's terrible. This door equally is terrible. We'll have to try and see what we can do with that. That's garbage. But when you close it, I don't know what's going on there either. Maybe it's part of that pillar problem. But this is not lining up with that cab at all. I just smacked here. Maybe we can bring that back, and I don't know. We'll see. Spotted for us back here. We need a cab corner, but what do I own that doesn't need a cab corner? Okay, let's go back here. Rear bumper, yeah, usable. Inside of this box, it's pretty good for the most part, except on top of this one. I don't know why. Why is that all mangled and nothing else is? Maybe it rusted from the outside in. Not entirely sure. Back here we got a spot there. It's not so bad though. Up here, not so good. Cab corner, we can fix that. Bottom of that door, that's a piece of piss. Let's look in here. I grabbed me a large screwdriver, flathead. I'm gonna try and get in this glove box. Maybe I'll come back. Well, let's take a look at this floor first. Maybe this side's better. Okay. Oh boy. Okay, so yeah, this side's not actually better. Okay.
Here you go.
Thank you. All right, here, can you hold this?
Sure.
Maybe I'll try and push the button and pry on it at the same time. There we go. No keys. Nothing in here but a dime.
Oh, which means somebody's thinking about you.
Somebody's thinking about me?
They always say that somebody in heaven is thinking of you.
Somebody in heaven is thinking about me when I find a dime. Okay. Well, cool. This whole unit could use some WD-40, I can tell you that. We got another cab corner, another door repair. Bottom of that fender seems okay. How was the other fender? Was it good? We'll go take a look. Antenna looks good. The hood doesn't seem to fit very well. Maybe it just needs adjustment. Maybe I suspect that's got something to do with it. I'm not sure. Some rust in there. Top of the inners look good. Top of the fenders look good. I know that's a trouble spot on the Fords. Bottom of this front fender looks okay, like it's repairable anyway. This is an original Alberta truck. If you don't know, I live in Alberta. I'm hoping I can look up that, check this out, and maybe on the off chance I don't need an out of province inspection on it. So I'm not so sure how that would go. The bottom of that door must be off all the way across. And it is, yeah. Okay. That explains that. I would like to try and save this door if we can. That's this guy, that's your walk around. This is a 1977 Ford F250 custom 4-wheel drive. So if it was an early one, we'd call this a Highboy and it would sit up 2 inches higher. But because it's a later 77 unit, it's not a Highboy. In fact, Ford never called them Highboys. That's just a nickname we give them. This would be called a lowboy. I don't know if it really suits it because it's still sitting up pretty high. You still got to climb up into this thing. So I think that's going to do it for your walk around. Well, maybe I'll take you on the inside. Or did I already? Door panels. Not great, but not terrible. You can see both of them are broken from the speakers somebody put in the doors. Whatever, that happens. Brake pedal has got this contraption on it, and I don't know why. I don't think it's factory. Is that a factory return spring on a Ford? I don't think so. Come on. Can I take you off of there? Boy. what's going on down here. Oh. Okay, so this brake pedal, I don't think she moves. I think she's frozen solid. Oh boy. Oh. Yeah, she's a pretty plain Jane machine overall. I'll have to do those floor repairs. I think I'll go and order those parts now. Same as that part. I don't really know where to order Ford parts. I'll have to figure that out. But we will. And what's with that wiper knob? What's with you Ford guys? Is that off the radio? I think it is. That's the other radio knob. Whatever. Alright. I think we're gonna call that your walk around. I'll try and come back tomorrow for the Will It Run, see if we can get this pig running. You can see there she's sold as a 4x4 Highboy. Looks like it was 3,100 at one time and then it became 37. Highboy 400 V8 standard motor, standard motor turns. What do we got over here? No rad or carb stolen, sold. Sold to me. The sucker. All right. Alright, so here's my first dent side. Here in the yard. I don't know if I want those wheels or not. Are these 16s? Yeah, they are. 225 70 16s. I don't mind the look of a wagon wheel. We'll see. Somebody started taking this front bumper off and then stopped. Maybe they couldn't get this last carriage bolt off. Man, didn't seem to be a problem. A little bit of a whammo, but whatever. A lot of good parts taken off this thing. I should probably go see if they ended up on the internet for sale somewhere. Red Devil. That's what the green pickle has, actually. Got it revved out. It's a good. I don't know if I need that. I could probably look at my pictures and find out. Come on. Okay. She's fairly gutted. And that's okay. Yeah, I think we'll just move on. See if we can't find another one. I thought there was another one just a row over. Let me take a quick look here. Ah, maybe not. Oh, there's one over there. There's a dent side next to it. Or, sorry, a bump side next to it. Let me grab my tools and we'll head over. Well, I guess they're both bump sides. This one's got a few things left in it. Geez, those are not good cab lights. Who would go through all the trouble of taking those off and then leave them behind? They're all glass too. I think we're gonna take those. Those might look good on the old dirty pickle. This one here is completely, I don't know, I guess if you're looking for those two pieces of trim. Tailgate's gone off there. I don't know, is that terrible? I guess it's getting pretty thin on the bottom. Probably rusting from the inside out. Okay. I'm going to take those cab lights out. Those look pretty good. Be a fool not to, wouldn't I? Yeah, I should grab those. Alright. Well, I was hoping to beat the rain, but this is actually a, you know, it's not raining too bad right now, but it was coming down pretty good for a couple minutes. Well, for about 15 minutes. I just don't think I want to lay in this for a starter anymore. Maybe we'll go hit Napa and see what they charge us for a new starter. Or maybe we just abandon that idea because, quite frankly, I think that motor's shot. I can feel a clunkety clunk at the bottom. Let's just see what happens. I don't know what I'm going to do right now. I think what I'm going to do first, though, is walk through the yard on my way out of here, walk through the trucks and see if I can find anything. At least I'll know where I stand. Maybe it'll be high enough that it's not sitting in a puddle of water. Maybe I can throw something down and lay on it. We'll see. At any rate, I'm gonna go do that now. I'll leave you guys out of it because these GoPros in the rain, they don't like each other.